Hello, everybody, and welcome to Maximum Libertarian. I am Brian.
And I'm Dean.
And first and foremost, if you're new to the page, please click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and
smash that like button, bro.
Yeah, smash the like button and share the page. That would be great. And if you're on Twitter, please follow us at We Are Max Lib, and you can see it on the scrolling banner down below us. Well, I guess the big news here in Virginia today was the wonderful 2 o'clock conference from our governor. And let's pull that up from WDBJ News. He issued midnight to 5 a.m. curfew as percent of positive COVID hits 11%. So
yeah, he wanted you to get that lube out and get ready to stick it so far up your ass you're gonna feel it hard.
Now here's some of the great things that starts on Monday at 12:01 on Monday, December 14th. Let's see what we got going on here. Modified stay-at-home order, which all individuals must remain in their house from 12 to 5 a.m. Exceptions include food and goods traveling to and from work and seeking medical attention. Universal mask requirements. All Virginians ages 5 and over required to wear face coverings indoor settings, shared with others, and outdoors within 6 feet of another person. So if you're outside, you got to wear a mask. So if you want to go ride or whatever you might want to do, you got to wear a mask now. We'll see. We'll watch that get enforced. Let's see. Reduction in social gatherings. All must be limited to 10 individuals, down from the current cap of 25 people. Social gatherings include, but not limited to party, celebration, or social events, regardless of whether it happens outside or indoors. This does not apply to religious services, employment setting, or educational settings. Restaurants and retail stores are already governed by. We were speaking about that real quick. Continue of limited dining establishments. And let's see. Prohibits after 10 p.m. you can't drink alcohol. But me and you were talking about that earlier today. And let's bring that down. So we were saying that you can't have more than 10 people in a restaurant in a group. So what we could easily do is I could take and put 9 people in my group, and we're going to have you show up when you're going to have your 10 people. So see, it's a lot of things that you can do to skirt the law. So in turn, it makes absolutely no sense to. Please, you can help me. If you agree with it, go ahead.
Throw them over.
Huh? Kind of freezing up there?
People over easy. You just got to find ways to do it.
Right. I don't know, man. This stuff's not good. And if people are starting to push back in some aspects. But I think what you're going to need to do, you're going to need to start thinking do not agree with this to start pushing back also.
Yeah, what you have also is the fact that you're going to have people basically not following the orders. The mask thing was, if you're within 6 feet outside of somebody in a crowded area, you need to wear a mask. The enforcement's going to be heavier. He's going to allow enforcement to be jumped up and used heavier. And he basically said his mama told him that nothing was good between 12 and 5 a.m. The only thing that's open is legs and drugs, basically, after that time frame. He was stereotyping people already just by saying what he said. So it's just it's annoying. Like I said, I run with the fire service. We can't do training. Well, we can. But we would have to do it in real small groups. But you can't. Well, that would be over a 10-person gathering. So you're screwed either way you look at it. You try to do something. I mean, 10 people. I don't see how 12 to 5 is going to do anything. If you started putting caps on percentage of people coming into a building and things like that, that would be a little more. Which is I shouldn't be giving them any ideas, but that's gonna work easier on limiting the spread. I don't see how these new orders are gonna really work to the spread issue. Quite frankly, all he's doing is doing it for his fun to try to restrict Virginians from doing anything. So I'm not. I, I just don't see how it's gonna affect things more.
Right. It's sad that people are. I don't believe people. You know, we have a party that runs around and believe in science, and that same party doesn't listen to science. I think it's almost like one of them things where you say, "I support total equality," but then you're standing on the neck of those same individuals. You know.
Yep.
Is everything going good for you?
Exactly. It's going to hurt the very people that he's trying to.
Correct.
Everything's going good. I'm just trying to get in a better, more comfortable.
Say again? What did you say?
Trying to get in a better, comfortable spot.
Okay.
I was trying to get a more.
All right, I got you. But no, we're going back down. I think people need to start pushing back, and I think our elected officials need to push back. Hopefully, I mean, you can't run around and say, "Well, that's the law." It's nice to see when sheriffs stand up.
Nope.
Once again, me and you've talked about it, and I know me and you both agree. I'm not anti-mask by any stretch of the imagination, but at the same time, I don't believe that there should be a mandate. I don't think there should be a mandate on an individual, and I don't think that there should be a mandate on the business. Because right now, if I said I can't wear a mask, because I know people who cannot wear a mask because they have asthma, and she will not go out to restaurants, where is she supposed to go? If she can't go into a grocery store, where is she supposed to go? No grocery store can say, we're going to let you make your own decision. They are being forced by the government to enforce the stupid mandate. So once again, I don't care if a business says we're going to make you wear a mask. Any customer comes in, you have to wear a mask. Cool. But if a grocery store down the street says, look, it's up to you. If you got a health reason, if you don't want to wear it, and at the same time, if you are sitting there going, well, I can't go in there, I'm going to get the COVID and die, or I'm going to pass it along to someone else, that would get you, just like you tell me to stay home, I'm telling you, shop somewhere else. That store will gladly do it. Am I wrong?
Yep. The issue, you're not wrong at all. There's a lot of issues when it comes to that. Like, you can't just say to somebody, you can't do this. But now what they're going to do is use enforcement. And they've already done enforcement, but he's telling people to step up their enforcement. If they go into a restaurant and they don't see a mask on a cook, they're going to put issues. They're going to push stuff against them, and that can actually close up an establishment. There was one in Lynchburg that had an interesting story that was going around a while, where somebody basically just went and complained too many times, and they got a $10,000 fine. And he's begging his people to just follow the guidelines, so he don't have to shut down. So there's people on both ways, and the biggest problem of everything is we're turning into hating each other and not loving each other. Basically, we're going out there, and people are look what happens to me. I mean, if you're on my page, personal page, I get burnt up if I write anything about wearing a mask. There's so many people that are Trumpers out there that hate me putting that out there, but we all have an individual responsibility to do what we want with our own lives, as long as it hurt no one else. If I choose to go into a supermarket and wear a mask, that's my choice. That's the same with you. If I choose to go and wear a mask into my firehouse on a call, that's my choice. Not everybody has to do what I have to do, but it's a choice of the individual. And that's the problem is where you get the people that do not respect that individual, and they're doing everything in their power to fight against that individual. It makes for an ugly situation, and it's just not. It's something that we need to all look at each other and say we're all Americans. We need to get through this together and move on.
Right. But once again, we go back to, if I wanted to have a business that said you don't have to wear a mask, you're imposing, I'm not saying you, but you know what I'm saying. The government or elected leaders are saying to Food Line, Kroger, whoever, you've got to make them wear a mask. If they decided not to want to have the customer does not have to wear a mask, I know what I'm getting into. It's like when I eat food or things of that nature. And at the same time, let me just say this. I would prefer and I want the cook in the back to be washing his or her hands. You know, don't sneeze in my food. I'd have more of an issue with that than them wearing a mask, because I understand you start running around in that hot kitchen, you can't breathe. I'm not putting someone through the stress like that. That can't be good for you. I mean, if we have an issue, if you have a cook in the back that spits into the food, you better get rid of the cook.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
And here's the other thing. You brought up a good point. And something I'm starting to do now is going to start to do is, your vitamins. Take vitamins. Try to improve your immune system. You've preached that, and you know what? That's a good way to preach it. So if you do get it, you have a better shot with your immune system. That's the biggest thing. The immune system. You need to have a strong immune system, and you need to do what you can on that end to help your immune system. And there is people out there that don't have an immune system.
Right, and that's
something
that's definitely something that I think that the government, and look, even Ralph Northam, he gets up there and he tells us how much he cares about us and he follows the science, but you're not allowed to say, take vitamin C, take vitamin D, take a multivitamin, eat whole foods, exercise, try to sleep right. That's little basic things right there that we should be doing already. Build your immunity. Like, I think maybe I was talking here, and I'll repeat it again. Back in the early 1900s, there was a Russian doctor. He said to soak your feet into ice water, and then right before bed for like 12 to 15 minutes. Afterwards, you put a pair of warm socks on, and then you jump into bed and go to bed. The ice water will help build to him, and there's studies on jumping into doing ice baths and things to that nature. You can easily look at that science, but we're not supposed to say that. We're supposed to say, get scared, hunker down, and if you get depressed, commit suicide. And that way, and then we can just mark you up as a COVID victim. I mean, that's really what's going on, and that's what's so frustrating to me more than anything. And I hope.
Oh yeah.
Look, we've got an idiot coming into the White House. We're having one guy who's no good leave. We're having a straight idiot, and anyone that voted for Joe Biden, you either one, you voted with hate, or two, you have no brains. Because if you look at that guy's record, who has 47 years record, and you went, yeah, he's a pretty good guy, you're an idiot. And I don't care if I know maybe I shouldn't say that because we try to get voters, but whatever the case may be, I would prefer you to look at the candidates and say, who's the best one that can help this country? If it's Joe Jorgensen, vote Joe Jorgensen. If it was Donald Trump, Donald Trump. If it was Joe Biden, I would say Joe Biden. But you look at his policies and who he's got leading him, because we already know he's going to be led. He's not going to lead. He's going to lead from behind. If he's even behind, they're just going to be leading. And we're going to drive off into, I don't know what's going to happen. Well, I know what's going to happen. It's just, I don't want to see it happen. Hopefully it's several years from now when it really comes to fruition. But I just don't have a faith in him.
You want to do? You
What's
want
that?
nothing to do with Joe Biden, and it's going to get ugly. Pretty.
No. Anyone, well, once again, anyone that voted for him really did not do any research. I've read so many reports. If I would have known about Hunter Biden, I would have never voted for him. Had I known about the '94 crime bill, I would have never voted for Joe Biden. That means you didn't do no research whatsoever. Yeah. All right,
exactly.
let's pull up.
You got to do.
Yep.
If you don't do your research, you're going to hurt yourself.
Right. All right, let's pull this one up real quick. I saw this New York Post. This comes from the great country of Russia. No drinking alcohol for 2 months after the COVID vaccine, Russia tells citizens. Oh, my goodness. So right there, as you can see it.
Oh.
And
no vodka. What?
Let's say Russians will have to refrain from visiting crowded places, wear face masks, use sanitizers, minimize contact, and refrain from drinking alcohol or taking immune suppressant drugs. Oh my goodness! Now,
oh boy,
hey, you're an EMS. What about? How often have you been on calls where someone had drank alcohol with their pills?
Well, I can't go into exactly how many people I've seen that, but it's common. I mean, as a firefighter, you see some weird stuff, and when you take your pills, when people take certain pills and they drink alcohol, it takes their whole mindset away. So it's one of those personal things. If they want to drink and take a pill, that's on them, but it's going to mess your mind. Otherwise, that's a personal.
Right here, according to the World Health Organization, Russia is the fourth largest consumer of alcohol per person. The average Russian consumes almost 4 gallons of alcohol, according to the agency. That's a year. Congratulations, Russia. You're excellent.
Yep. Drink all that good vodka.
Right. That's my question, though, really, because this is stuff because they're rushing this vaccine out. You've heard of all this stuff about how bad it makes you, like it's worse than getting the coronavirus, from my understanding. Some people after like the second shot, I believe, they say that their muscles are sore, they don't go to work. But they're not telling you, once again, they're not saying go do vitamin D, go vitamin C, zinc, multivitamin. I'm going to say this over and over again. Soak your feet in ice water. What's the worst that's going to happen? Absolutely nothing. Because if you don't want to soak after you soak your feet in,
you might feel a little cold.
Put it into hot water and soak your feet. It relieves stress. And what does that do? That builds your immunity. So this isn't that hard to figure out, but we're acting like it's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's mind-boggling to me.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have the choice what you want to do. I mean, like zinc, it's proven that zinc and vitamin D and vitamin C are good for immunity, which helps people that have had it. So,
right. Wow, I just don't. I mean, like I said, I really don't know. I wish I could sit here and say, but Governor Northam laying down the law today after 12 o'clock. to 5. We're not allowed to just be out doing our own things. He's limiting the number of outside people. I don't know. This isn't making sense.
He don't want you to get your prostitutes.
And
he don't want you to have prostitutes.
Yeah, that's what he's worrying about. He's worrying. He's just now that was a good
More
line.
for him.
And we should have said, yes, it's more for that's Ralph Northam is going out and picking up all the prostitutes. That is what's going on. He's not trying to save anyone's life. Dean, you said it, and I'm going to end the show right now because I don't think we can get any better than that. You know what I'm saying? So, ladies and gentlemen,
I don't think we're getting better than Northam not wanting.
If you've made it this far, please click the subscribe button, hit the notification, and Dean, what should they do? Oh, yes. Well, he's a little frozen.
Smash the like button.
There we go. Oh, he's back.
Northam.
Smash the like button, like the page, like the video, share this video, subscribe, my friends. Follow us on Twitter. And until tomorrow, I'm Brian. That's Dean.
And
we will
send Northam some.
We will see you later. Have a good night.